Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing week 2 in college football right now with returning guest Al McMordie, Big Al McMordie from BigAl.com, industry veteran. I'm very flattered and happy that he does regular videos with us, and I'm happy that he's going to be back with us this year. We're going to start right off with Hawaii and Oregon State. Al McMordie, thanks for being back with us.
Always good to be here, Peter.
All right, Al, you've had a very successful handicapping career for quite a long time. Quickly tell folks who might not be familiar with you, what you do, what BigAl.com is all about, and brag a little bit about some of your recent successful results.
Sure. I've been in business now since 1992. I've been handicapping since 1980, and it's just a labor of love. It's what I've done my whole life. Had a terrific year again last year in the NFL. 2 years ago, we ranked #1 in the NFL by the Sports Monitor. Last season had another terrific year, 83 and 57 on all NFL selections. We got off to a terrific start in college football last weekend, 5-2 on our 7 college football plays. And we had, it's just been a great year. Last year, we ranked #1 in hockey, #4 in the NBA, and it's just been really a tremendous year. And we'll keep it going. And if folks go to BigAl.com, I have 3 complimentary selections posted there every day from myself, from Larry Ness, and people can go to BigAl.com and just click on free picks for all the free winners.
Those are some pretty impressive results there, Al McMordie. All right, Oregon State and Hawaii is a college game we're going to discuss this week, and here's where your expertise and experience will come in handy, right? Because Hawaii's a 10.5-point home favorite, and Hawaii was expected to be terrible this year, right? They returned a lot of starters, which was a bad thing, right? Because they were so bad. And before the season started, there was talk of maybe just doing away with the football program entirely at Hawaii. But their first game, they covered by a mile against Washington. They almost won. They lost by just 1 point. And here they are again, a home underdog of 10.5 points to another Pac-12 team, Oregon State. And, so I'm looking at this game. I'm thinking, I don't know, man, Oregon State should have a big edge here. So my first thought is that as a square public bettor, I'd lean towards Oregon State minus 10.5. But when you have a result that Hawaii had the first week, I'm not exactly sure what to make of it. What do you make of this line and this game and these lines, Al?
Well, I'm going to instead look at also how Oregon State did last week. Oregon State won its game 29-14 versus Portland State. That wasn't surprising to the extent that Portland State has never defeated a Pac-12 opponent, losing all of its 13 games versus Pac-12 foes. As you mentioned, Hawaii had a very close game, a 17-16 loss versus 25th ranked Washington. And they covered the spread in that ballgame. They were a 17.5-point underdog. In contrast, Oregon State failed to cover the 32.5-point spread versus the Vikings. So in Vegas, Hawaii was a big winner and Oregon State was a big loser, last weekend. The line on this game actually opened up at 12.5. As you mentioned, it's now down to 10.5. And I think there's a lot of value still with the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Technically, this is a super situational spot to play on Hawaii as a home underdog. It's often difficult, Peter, for college football teams to go on the road after playing at home in week 1, and then they have to go on the road without any rest in week 2. And it's hard, I think, for these kids early on in the season to find their rhythm. And one of the things I like to do is play against these road favorites, especially if they're matched up against a non-conference opponent. These road favorites in game 2 have only covered the spread about 39% of the time over the last 34 years. And it's just a bad situation for Oregon State. I'm going to take Hawaii plus the points.
All right. Makes a lot of sense. That's the classic way that you analyze games, Big Al McMordie, and I love it. So maybe Hawaii, the talent discrepancy will be more of a factor later on in the year. But right now, at home, week 2, Hawaii has more of an edge than we're giving them credit for. Hawaii plus 10.5 it is. Thanks so much, Al.